The horrific alleged rape and murder of a medical student at a Calcutta hospital is continuing to send shockwaves down the spine of not just people in India but across the world. The latest round of violence that has happened on the night of 14th and 15th August, when it is alleged that doctors protesting against the alleged rape and murder were targeted, the entire hospital where the alleged crime happened vandalized. That is leading to more questions. So what are the challenges for the investigators at the moment? The first challenge, of course, is to come to a conclusive, get conclusive proof whether there was only one person involved or not. One civic police volunteer, Sanjay Roy, has been arrested by the Calcutta police, but there are continuous doubts, especially after the autopsy report, of whether more than one person was involved or not. The amount of a semen fluid that was found in the post-mortem, in the autopsy, more than 150 units, is leading to questions that biologically is it possible for one person to be involved in this kind of a crime. If he was not the only one involved, why did the CCTV not capture the presence of other two? Why is there no other lead so far? Even though CBI has taken custody of the accused, his questioning has happened. We do not yet know conclusively if there is any inkling from the accused to suggest that he was not alone in this crime. So that's the first doubt that continues to linger. Who were the people involved? Was this a case of gang rape or not? The second question is that as far as scientific evidence is concerned, is the police and now the CBI in possession of all the possible forensic, scientific, biological evidence that could be collected from the body of the victim? This is being questioned because the body was cremated. It was initially alleged that it was the Kolkata police which rushed the cremation formalities through, but then the police later clarified that the decision was taken by the family. It was not something that the police forced on them. The third question is that why was the parent, why were the parents of the deceased not allowed to see the body for 3 long hours? Was there any attempt to dress up the crime scene in those 3 hours? Why did the hospital authorities call and say that this was a case of suicide? That crucial gap of 3 hours when the victim's body was lying in the seminar hall, what evidence could have been possibly destroyed in that period? And this destruction of evidence question is gaining is getting more mileage, is getting more traction because there is some renovation work that was spotted near that seminar hall, and questions have been asked about that. Second, the hooliganism that happened, the vandalism that happened yesterday, the way the hospital emergency ward was completely ransacked, medicines thrown apart. There are some doctors present on the ground who seem to suggest, and there are eyewitnesses, that these hooligans, these group of people who entered the hospital premises, wanted to get near the seminar hall, wanted to get near the crime scene. So who were these people? Was this also an attempt under the garb of joining the protest marchers to get to the scene of crime and destroy whatever little is left of it? The fourth and most important question, under the newly made criminal laws, under the BNS, it is imperative that if there is a crime committed against women, then videography and photography must happen. Has that videographic evidence been properly collected, sanitized? Has the police managed to collect whatever evidence was required? What lead is that throwing? Because there are questions after the autopsy which suggest that the nose and the mouth of the deceased was covered. What was it covered with? Did the accused or multiple accused just use their bare hand? Was there anything else that was required? On the mattress, we are told there are some traces of forensic evidence, hair, nail, blood stains that have been found. That could perhaps give investigators some crucial lead, scientifically lead them to the identity of the people involved. Why was no screams heard? Who really had the keys to that seminar hall? Was that person aware that the deceased was taking rest in that particular hall? There are multiple questions, and at this stage there are more questions than answers available. CBI has been given a deadline by Mamata Banerjee, but often when policemen work under deadline, crucial evidence just cannot be measured in the way that it should be. So now that the case has gone to the CBI, in the backdrop of what we have seen in the last 24 hours, it looks like it will be even more challenging to track down all those who were involved in this ghastly crime, and also to ensure that people believe that this investigation has been fair and that nobody, no loose end, has been left behind.